हेलो एवरीवन, नमस्कार। ये जो सेशन है लीव मैनेजमेंट की ट्रेनिंग का, इसमें हम आपको ये दिखाने वाले हैं कि लीव मैनेजमेंट मॉड्यूल में जो एम्प्लॉयज़ के लीव रिकॉर्ड्स हैं और जो इनिशियल बैलेंस हैं, उनको कैसे अपडेट किया जा सकता है और कैसे वेट किया जा सकता है। ये पार्ट जो लीव मैनेजमेंट का है, ये उन लोग के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है जो डीलिंग क्लर्क, लीव क्लर्क्स, अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट में वेटिंग के लिए एस्टेब्लिशमेंट के जो लोग हैं, उनके रोल के लिए ये पार्ट बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। तो इसको कृपया वो लोग ध्यान से देखें। So, friends, this part of leave management training is about updating the initial balance and updating the leave records and getting them vetted. So here we'll try to explain how we have tried to do this online uh, within leave management module, and this will be very important for all those employees who are working as the leave clerks and dealing clerks, and in account section working as SSOs and officers who are there for vetting. So please go through it very carefully. So ये आपका लीव मैनेजमेंट का पेज है। हमने आपको पहले के सेशंस में बताया हुआ है। ये मेनू आइटम है लीव मैनेजमेंट का। ऊपर के लिंक्स एम्प्लॉयज़ के लिए लीव अप्लाई करने के लिंक्स और एप्लीकेशन हिस्ट्री देखने के लिंक, बैलेंस देखने के लिंक हैं, और जो नीचे का लिंक है वो ऑफिसेज के लिए है। So these are the links which are useful for office purpose, to be used by dealing clerks and leave clerks and accounts department for updating and getting the leave balance vetted and all. So um, the first link here is the pending leave application, which is visible to all the supervisors, where they receive all the pending leave application, and whatever leave is pending with them, they can process it. Now this is pending leave applications. The other links are related to upkeep of leave records of individual employees. One thing to note here is that you need to have DC role, dealing clerk role, to access all these links. And the other thing is like DC role can be given to anyone in the unit who need to access these links. तो ये जितने भी लिंक आपको दिख रहे हैं यहाँ पे लीव बैलेंस को अपडेट करने के लिए, इनिशियल बैलेंस को अपडेट करने के लिए और लीव रिकॉर्ड मेंटेन करने के लिए, ये हमने डीलिंग क्लर्क के लेवल पे दिए हैं। हमने कोई मैपिंग नहीं की है। देयर इज नो मैपिंग विद अ बिल यूनिट, लाइक ओनली दिस बिल यूनिट कैन बी डन बाय दिस डीसी। ऐसी कोई मैपिंग नहीं की गई है। तो कोई भी डीसी कोई भी बिल यूनिट को देख सकता है और उसके ऊपर कार्रवाई कर सकता है। तो आप लोग अपने हर काम को कोऑर्डिनेटेड वे में प्लान करके करें। सबसे पहले आपको ये बताना चाहते हैं कि जो लीव हमने शुरुआत की है, जो जब आप लीव अप्लाई करते हैं, जो यूजर्स को, एम्प्लॉयज को अपना लीव बैलेंस दिखता है, ये लीव बैलेंस हमने आईपास से प्राप्त किया है। आईपास में जो लेटेस्ट लीव बैलेंस था उसको एचआर ने लिया है और वही हम शो कर रहे हैं। इसे हम इनिशियल लीव बैलेंस कह सकते हैं, प्रोविजनल लीव बैलेंस कह सकते हैं, क्योंकि अभी वेट नहीं हुआ है। ठीक है, लेकिन क्योंकि हम लोगों को लीव अप्लाई करने की सुविधा देनी है, इसलिए हम इसको शो करके लोगों से यूज करवा रहे हैं। गोइंग फॉरवर्ड हमें इस लीव बैलेंस को वेट करना आवश्यक है। तो वो कैसे करना है वो मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ। यहाँ अपडेट इनिशियल बैलेंस का एक लिंक है आखिर में, आप इसको क्लिक कर सकते हैं। So when you click the updation of initial balance, what happens is the dealing clerk can see drop down for bill units. They can select their bill unit of choice. You can select 5 bill units at a time. एक साथ आप 5 बिल यूनिट सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे ड्रॉप डाउन में। मैंने अभी 2 किए हैं। और ओपनिंग मैं यहाँ पे सारे एम्प्लॉयज को देख सकता हूँ शो ऑल करके, या मेरे पास ऑप्शन है कि उन लोगों को देखने का जो एक साथ रिटायर हो रहे हैं या फिर जिनका प्रोविजनल बैलेंस नल है। कई एम्प्लॉय आपके ऐसे होंगे जिनका आईपास में बैलेंस नल होगा, तो वो लीव अप्लाई ही नहीं कर सकते। तो उनका रिकॉर्ड पहले वेट करना चाहिए, नहीं तो वो लीव अप्लाई नहीं कर पाएंगे। तो उनको अलग से देखने के लिए भी हमने चेकबॉक्स दिया है। जैसे अगर मान लीजिए मैं शो ऑल करता हूँ और मैं प्रोसीड करता हूँ, तो इन दोनों बिल यूनिट में टोटल 86 एम्प्लॉयज हैं। देखिए, देयर टोटल 86 एम्प्लॉयज इन दिस 2 बिल यूनिट, 30101, 3101, 001 and 002. Okay, now I have option, like by using this feature I am actually creating a proposal for vetting of leave balance, and I can select employees whose leave record I want to send for vetting. मैं यहाँ पे सिलेक्ट करके चेकबॉक्स से भी सिलेक्ट कर सकता हूँ। सिलेक्ट ऑल करने से सारे चेकबॉक्स टिक हो जाएंगे। ये मैं इसलिए कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि इसके जरिए मैं उन लोगों को चुन रहा हूँ जिनका लीव बैलेंस हमें भेजना है वेटिंग के लिए। तो हो सकता है कि आपको सभी लोगों का एक साथ भेजना हो, या हो सकता है कि आपको कुछ ही लोगों का फिलहाल भेजना हो, तो इसलिए आपको हमने ये ऑप्शन दिया हुआ है चेक करने का। मैं खाली नल वालों का भी भेजना चाह रहा हूँ, तो इसलिए मैं खाली नल वालों को चुनूंगा। और मेरे को नल वाले देखने के, जो नल एम्प्लॉइज हैं उनको देखने के लिए मेरे पास एक और तरीका है, मैं शो ओनली करके नल बैलेंस, प्रोविजनल नल बैलेंस, पीपल है पर्सन हैविंग प्रोविजनल नल बैलेंस का भी चेकबॉक्स लगा के उनको ढूंढ सकता हूँ। मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ, मैं रीसेट करूंगा पहले इसको, मैं वही बिलियन फिर से चुनूंगा 001 002 और मैं शो ओनली करके नल पर्सन हैविंग नल प्रोविजनल बैलेंस क्लिक करूंगा, तो मेरे को वो केवल वही लोग दिखाई दे रहे हैं जिनका प्रोविजनल बैलेंस नल है। तो क्योंकि इन लोगों को दिक्कत आएगी लीव अप्लाई करने में, तो पहले मैं इनका रिकॉर्ड बेट करने के लिए भेजना चाहूंगा। मेरे को रिकॉर्ड बेट करने के पहले इनका एक बैलेंस देना पड़ेगा, तो मैं अपने रिकॉर्ड के मैनुअल जो हमारे ऑफिस में रिकॉर्ड होगा उस हिसाब से चेक करके देखूंगा कि इनका कितना लीव पड़ा हुआ है। तो मैं अभी फिलहाल तो अपने एंड पे एक फिगर डाल दे रहा हूँ, जो मतलब हम मान के चल रहे हैं कि ये फिगर उनकी ऑफिस में पड़ी होगी। तो जो डीलिंग क्लर्क है वो अपने रिकॉर्ड चेक करके पता लगा रहे हैं कि इनके पास कितनी फिगर है, और उस हिसाब से वो उनको भेज सकते हैं, बेटिंग के लिए उनका प्रपोजल बना सकते हैं। मैं फिलहाल मान लीजिए इतने ही रिकॉर्ड भेजना चाहूंगा, मैं इसको 200 कर लेता हूँ। सिंगल फादर कैन सीसीएल, सो आई कैन डू दैट। सॉरी, तो मैं फिलहाल इतने रिकॉर्ड ही ले रहा हूँ, तो इतने रिकॉर्ड में सिलेक्ट करके इनका प्रपोजल वेटिंग के लिए भेजना चाहूंगा। तो आपने देखा कि एज अ डीलिंग क्लर्क आई हैड द ऑप्शन ऑफ selecting the bill unit and getting the list of all the employees in those bill units. I can also select only those people who are retiring in 1 year or who are having null provisional balance. And from within that set, I can select the employees whose leave balance I want to send for vetting. So this is how I will select the employees. Total employees 8. I have selected employees 4. Total employees 8 means 8 people in these two bill units who have null provisional balance. And I have selected 4 out of those. So what I will do now is save and initiate workflow. Save and initiate workflow means in order to get the leave balance vetted, we have to send this proposal to accounts and get it vetted. It may flow through several channels. The dealing clerk may first send it to supervisor or the personal officer, who can then forward it to accounts. In accounts, it may be sent to the SSO for examining, and then maybe the officer will vet it. So there can be a whole chain. So in order to give you a very flexible option of sending this proposal online, we have devised a method called workflow, which will be very useful. I want you to please carefully look at it. हमने जो ये सिस्टम बनाया है, इसमें हम इस प्रपोजल को, जो लीव वेटिंग का प्रपोजल है अकाउंट भेजने का ऑनलाइन, इसको हमें हो सकता है कई लोगों के थ्रू भेजना पड़े, कि डीलिंग क्लर्क पहले ऑफिसर को भेजेगा या सुपरवाइजर को भेजेगा, वो अकाउंट्स में ऑफिसर को भेजेंगे, वो एसएसओ को भेजेंगे, तो कई चरण इसके हो सकते हैं। तो इस सिस्टम को आसान बनाने के लिए हमने एक वर्कफ्लो डिजाइन किया है, और वर्कफ्लो के जरिए आप इजीली इन लीव बैलेंसेस को अलग अलग लोगों के थ्रू भेज सकते हैं अप्रूवल के लिए। तो आप जरूर इसको ध्यान से देखिएगा। तो मैंने सबसे पहले लोगों को चुना, जिन लोगों को सिलेक्ट किया, अपने रिमार्क्स लिखे एंड सेव इनिशिएट वर्कफ्लो कर दिया। इसने पूछा कि आप करना चाहते हैं, मैंने यस। So I've initiated the workflow. So this is the proposal that I've created. You see proposal ID 82. I've created a new proposal ID. Okay. This is where I see the view proposal receipt. This is where I see my proposal. My proposal is to updation of initial leave balance. This is my proposal. 4 people proposal I'm sending for vetting. Now, as a dealing clerk, I can select action type: forward, return, or proposal drop. Forward means I'll send it forward to someone. Return means I'm returning it to someone, and proposal drop means I'm dropping the proposal. Now, return and proposal drop, I don't want to do it because I'm initiating the proposal actually. So I'll forward it to someone. Why I'm forwarding it? I can forward it for approval, I can forward it for vetting, I can forward it for onward submission, anything. Suppose I forward it for approval, directly approval. See, there are two things. One is vetting of the leave record, the other is approval of the vetted record. But I'm directly sending it for approval. Now, one thing is important, that approval can only be done by a guested officer. So, who will I send? I can search here, but the search will only show me guested officers of your unit. Okay. If you want to see someone outside your unit, you need to change the search option here. Okay, you need to change the search option here. So within the unit, I'll just search for my guested officer. So I have searched the SPO, and I'll try to send. I'll try to send for approval see the state that the record has not been vetted yet. I have just initiated. I am sending directly for approval. Okay. So what will happen? I want to show you what happens. It will actually go to SPO, but when they try to approve it, the system will not allow to approve because it will say that the account that the proposal is not vetted. See, it says your remarks have been saved successfully. That means my proposal has been sent to SPO. Okay, my proposal has been sent to the guest officer I had chosen. Now, very important part of the workflow is that the menu item is here. This is workflow. This is leave management, which we were working from where we went into the workflow. But when we create a proposal, we send it through workflow to different people. So just below leave management ESS, there is something called a workflow. If you click here, my activities. If you go to my activities, so all your pending approvals will come here in this my activity, my pending approval part. Okay, this is the old proposal that I had created. The present proposal that I created, remember the ID was 81, I think 81 or 82. So that has gone to SPO. So I'll just log in with the officer's ID to show you how it looks, where it is coming up. Okay. So, so now remember we have to go to workflow because we have sent the proposal through workflow. Now, if you see proposal ID 82 has come in my workflow of this officer. We have send the proposal to him and receive for approval. It says okay. So I can propose from here. I can see the whole thing. I can see the whole thing here, and from here I can process the whole thing. So I can process it here. See, workflow approval process. Subject is updation of leave initial balance. And description it's a proposal 82, proposal ID 82, update of initial balance, forwarded by Aloranjan Pati OS on this date and time for approval and sanction. Workflow state approval pending, vetting pending. So vetting is also pending, approval also pending. Ideally, I should return it. I can return it for clarification, modification, reconsideration, or because it is not vetted, but I have already sent for approval. But suppose if I try to approve it, approved, sanction, marked, finalized, because every time you approve something, the purpose will be for finalization of the proposal, and you need not send it to anyone. The proposal will be finalized by the system online. Okay, and suppose I write approved and I submit. See, just see what the system says. The system will say this was not been saved because the case is not vetted. This is a typo, I'm sorry. So this proposal has not been saved because the case is not vetted. So this proposal remains like this. This proposal remains like this. No purpose. It can't be approved. So what is the option before me? Option is I can forward it for vetting. I can return it back to DC and say why you have done this. You again submit. Or from here I can forward it for vetting. I can also forward it for onward submission or examination to some accounts person, or I can send it for vetting. Suppose if I send it for vetting, vetting can only be done by guest officer of account department. So the proposal, if you have marked a proposal for vetting, it will only go to the guest officer of accounts department. Again, of your unit only. If you have to search outside your unit, you can change the search criteria. Okay. Now suppose I have to search the accounts officer in my unit. I can search by name, HRMS ID, or designation. So uh, uh, I have the HRMS ID, yes, senior AFA. So I can send it to senior AFA. So submit this proposal, and it says your remarks have been saved successfully. So now I can actually go to the ID of accounts officer and see if the proposal has been received. So here, remember, we have to go to workflow for all such proposals. We have to go to workflow, my activities. So when we go here, see, we have received two proposals. I am looking for the proposal 82 right now. So I can go and process it here. So as you see, this is a proposal subject description forwarded by SPO on downloaded for vetting. So this has been sent specifically for vetting, and that is why I have a link called vet records here. You see, I have a link called vet records here. This is view proposal as received. This is the initial proposal that I received. Okay, the initial proposal vetting is pending, and these are the file notings that had been noted by OS and SPO. Okay, for approval for vetting. So these are the file notings that are visible and has been sent for the purpose of vetting. Now, there are two ways of dealing with this. One is that officer themselves vet it and and send it back to SPO, or they send it to their SSOs for examination. So see, regarding vetting, I just want to show you how to do a vetting. So when you click on vet records, system says that the current version of the proposal is version 1, the initial proposal. You're trying to create a new version of the proposal. This will revoke the earlier approval and new approval will have to be obtained. So it is telling you that when you vet records, you are changing the proposal. You are changing something significant in the proposal. So a new approval will be required. Okay. So anyway, we have not been able to approve the proposal before. We have not kept it. We have not allowed it from the system. So whatever we do now will need to be vetted and then approved. Okay. So yes, we will want to create a new proposal. We want to create a new change. And what is the change that we want to create? We want to vet this. So this is the proposal that I seen. 4 people details I got. These are the LAPs. I have two options. As the finance officer has two options: vetted or returned. They can either vet it or return it. If they think the balance is correct, they will vet it. If they think the balance is wrong, they can return it. Now, how to check this? They can, if any document is uploaded, they can check from here, or there can be coordination between accounts and personal department. Personal department can send their balances, vetted balances manually. So this is a one-time exercise. This is not going to happen every year or every periodically. This is a one-time exercise for all the people in your division. So once this happens one time, then once the leave balance is vetted, all the leaves which are being applied online and being sanctioned online, they need not require to go through this process because the system is automatically updating their leave ledger, right? So this one-time process has to be done because we are starting now online. We are starting now with the leave balances being generated online. This one-time vetting is required. So you see the option, accounts have the option of vetting and returning it. So suppose I vet the two records and I return the two records. I'm returning these two records, Ravi Shankar Mitra and Gopal Chandradhar, and I'm vetting Shekhar Das and Singh Dev. Okay, so this I'm doing. Now what I can do is I can save and proceed to workflow. So if I save this proposal will be saved. Okay, the proposal has been saved. I can discard changes if I want. So the changes will discard the original. All the vetting would have been lost, and it will come back to the way it was received by this officer. So what I can do is I'll have to write vetted here, vetted for the necessary action. I can send it to anyone in personal department back saying it is vetted. But I also want to show you how you will send it further to your SSOs for further examination. So suppose I discard this change, revert changes. So I have revert the changes. Okay, now I have revert the changes. I am not going to vet it. I'm first going to forward it for examination to one of my SSOs. Okay, so I can send it to one of my SSOs. Uh, account senior, like senior TIA is there or someone is there, I can send it to someone. I know accounts clerk is there. I can send to accounts clerk. So all the employees will be visible here in the drop down. You can search by name or HRMS ID. I'm sorry, you can search by name or HRMS ID, and then you can send it. You can send it for examination to them, and with the remarks, please examine and send back for vetting. Okay. TNL ZRB. So I'm sending it to TNL ZRB. TNL ZRB is my accounts clerk, HMS ID. So I'll be logging in with that ID to show you how it looks there. So Um, Now I go to workflow to see the proposal which is pending. So this is proposal ID 82 received for examination. I am supposed to examine this and get back to my uh, boss. So I have the option of व्यूइंग व्यूइंग ये किसका किसी और का व्हाइट बोर्ड आ गया क्या? पीछे करना पड़ेगा हाँ? Again, I see in the workflow if I receive this proposal. Yes, I did proposal 82. I want to process this. So when I come here, I'll have to vet the records. So I can wait. I'll just go through the notings first. What my SSO has sent. So to be vetted first and third, return second and fourth. So I'll just follow that flow. Okay, I'll go vet the first and third and return second and fourth. In the actual scenario, the remarks of SSOs may be further comprehensive about which HRMS to be vetted and returned. Um, Now I save this and proceed to workflow. Okay, so now received version 1, current version 2. This why the version has changed because we when you vet the records here and you click vetted here. Okay, and for further necessary action, you should send it. I can send it to my account officer, personal officer. No, personal officer because personal officer only can approve it. It can't be approved by linker for any for necessary action. I am sending it back to the personal officer. Okay, and I now go to the personal officer's. So I now go to the personal officer's ID and see how it looks here. This is the workflow, my activities. So yes, I have received proposal ID 82 for further necessary action. I go here. I see it is vetted now, green, approval is pending. And I see the proposal has received. I should see which all the proposal that has been vetted by account. So I see that vetted, two are returned. Okay. So what happens is once it is vetted and I approve it, then these two people account will be vetted online. They won't be now showing in the initial leave balance update. And the returned people, the people whose proposal has been returned, will need to be re-put up in a separate proposal, in a fresh proposal. Okay. So this one I can approve. If I again if I forward it or return it or drop it, the proposal goes away. It won't be approved unless it is approved. It cannot be finalized. So if I select approved and or sanctioned, it becomes finalized. Need not be forwarded to anyone. I write here approved. Approved as vetted. like your remarks have been successfully. So basically, we have been able to successfully approve all the you know whole proposal. So now, if I go to leave management, now if I go to leave management, update initial balance. Oh, I'm sorry. You see, I can't go from this link because I am in a UA role. So I'll go back to my DC role and just see if the leave leave update works. So, uh, yes, sir. Okay, now if I go to leave management as a dealing clerk, update initial balance, I select the same two units 001 and 002. Okay, remember I had we had tried to look at the people having null balances and proceed. So now see, I'm seeing only six people instead of eight. Earlier I was seeing eight people here. Now I'm only seeing six people. You know, the two people whose record we had sent for vetting and they are not showing anymore because their records have already been vetted. We're only showing the vetting pending people here. So these are the two people whose vetting are pending. You remember we had sent these people, but it was not accepted by account and return, so they are showing. But the other two who got vetted, they are not visible. तो जो मैंने आपको पूरा भी प्रोसेस दिखाया, उस प्रोसेस में मैंने ये बताया कि कैसे आप एक प्रपोजल बनाएंगे वर्क फ्लो में, आपके डीलिंग क्लर्क कैसे अपडेशन ऑफ इनिशियल बैलेंस वाले पेज पे जाके बिल यूनिट से लोगों को सिलेक्ट करेंगे, जिन लोगों का लीव बैलेंस वेट करने के लिए भेजना है उनको सिलेक्ट करके यहाँ से, और वर्क फ्लो के जरिए कैसे कैसे अलग अलग चरणों में भेजा जा सकता है। हमने सबसे पहले एसपीओ साहब को भेजा, एसपीओ ने अकाउंट्स ऑफिसर को भेजा, अकाउंट ऑफिसर ने अपने एग्जामिनेशन के लिए अपने अकाउंट असिस्टेंट को भेजा, और इस प्रकार से उन्होंने वापस किया, तब जाके वेट हुआ, और वेटिंग के बाद ही अप्रूवल संभव हुआ उस प्रपोजल का। और जैसे ही प्रपोजल का अप्रूवल हुआ, हमने चार लोगों का प्रपोजल भेजा था, हमने दो की वेटिंग कराई थी, तो वो दो अब यहाँ नहीं दिख रहे हैं, उनकी वेटिंग हो चुकी है, उनकी वेटिंग पेंडिंग नहीं है। इनकी वेटिंग पेंडिंग है, वही लोग यहाँ दिखेंगे। तो इन दो लोगों को भी हमने भेजा, इन दोनों लोग का प्रपोजल भी हमने भेजा था, बट वो वेट नहीं हुआ था, वो रिटर्न हो गया था अकाउंट से, तो इसलिए वो यहाँ पे शो कर रहा है। अब आप नया प्रपोजल बना के सबको इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं, या कुछ लोगों को इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं, या आप चाहें तो और भी लोगों को इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं, और उनका प्रपोजल बना के आप अकाउंट भेज सकते हैं और वेटिंग करा सकते हैं। तो ये पूरा प्रोसेस है आपकी वेटिंग कराने का। वेटिंग कराने का अर्थ ये हुआ कि आपका लीव रिकॉर्ड वेट हो गया है, और अभी तक जो लीव बैलेंस आप शो कर रहे थे, जो इनिशियल लीव बैलेंस सारे कर्मचारियों को दिखता है, वो प्रोविजनल लीव बैलेंस होता है, जो हमें आईपास से प्राप्त हुआ है। इस वेटिंग प्रोसेस के जरिए हमने वेटेड लीव बैलेंस का रिकॉर्ड अपडेट कर दिया है। अब सिस्टम में जो भी लीव जाएगी, जो भी लोग अप्लाई करेंगे, क्रेडिट डेबिट होगा, वो ऑटोमेटिकली लीव लेजर को अपडेट करेगा, और पूरा ट्रांजैक्शन हमारे सामने लेजर के रूप में आ जाएगा। तो हम लोग का जो लीव रिकॉर्ड है वो ऑनलाइन ऑटोमेटिकली जनरेट होगा। तो इसको अब आपको आगे कभी बैठ के बनाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। ये एक one time effort, this is one time effort that you have to put in to vet all the records, leave records. Once this is done, you would not need to do it over and over again. Once online vetting is done, the records are updated. You don't need to further do it. So this is the whole process of updating the initial leave balance. Very important. I hope you all understand this and follow it properly. Apart from that, we have also given you the option of updating leave balances. Now, suppose for some person the leave balance is wrong. Like I just want to see if the leave balance of this person is right or wrong. Suppose we vet someone's leave balance, but we later find out that it was wrongly vetted. Maybe due to system failure to update, it didn't update, or initial update was wrong, the initial balance was wrong. Or in case of new joinees, if someone new joinee comes who do not have any balance, for them we can create a new balance from here. And returning for deputation, those who are returning for deputation, for them we can create a balance from here. So for these reasons, we can create a balance for LAP, LHAP, CCL. Why we are only showing these leaves? Because these are the kind of leaves for which balance is required. LAP, LHAP, CCL, we have a vetted balance required. CLRH, you have an annual balance that is given. So for these kind of leaves, we can create a balance debit credit, and number of days we can give, supporting document and justification we can write and get it done. Similarly, we have also given an option of entering manual leave. Suppose someone has taken a manual leave, someone was not available online, someone had a very important task at hand, or could not attend a place where such facility was available. So it is quite possible that leave could not be taken, and it was taken manually. And later on, when the leave balance is checked and a ledger is checked, then it is realized that it could not be taken. So from here, we can actually update those details. It can also be done for old leaves. Suppose when the leave management was not there, like 2 years back, 3 years back, someone's leave had to be updated in the leave record, present leave balance. That also we can do. So CLRH, LFP, LHFP, CCL, these options are there. All the other options are there. You can select it, give the date, justification, and all, and we can send it for approval to the concerned authority. So these are the option we have given you for updating entry of manual leave and updating of leave balances. And this was the link for updating initial balances. तो इस प्रकार से आप इनिशियल बैलेंस अपडेट कर सकते हैं। आप इनिशियल बैलेंस अपडेट करने के अलावा लीव बैलेंस को भी अपडेट कर सकते हैं, जहाँ पे कोई गलती से कोई गलत लीव अपडेट हो गई हो, या इनिशियल बैलेंस गलत हो, या कोई नया आदमी ज्वाइन करने आया हो, या कोई डेपुटेशन से लौटे तो उसका लीव रिकॉर्ड आधा डेपुटेशन का रहता है, डेपुटेशन में लीव नहीं है, बाकी यहाँ पे पुराना लीव रिकॉर्ड रहता है। उसको अपडेट करने के लिए भी आप अपडेट लीव बैलेंसेस सिस्टम को यूज कर सकते हैं। और एंट्री ऑफ मैनुअल लीव वाला जो सिस्टम है वो हमने दिया है कि अगर कोई लीव आपने मैनुअली लिया है उसको सिस्टम में अपडेट करना है तो उसके लिए आप यूज कर सकते हैं। तो इनका यूज करके आप सारे रिकॉर्ड्स को अपडेट रख सकते हैं। लीव बैलेंसेस का जो लिंक है वो मैंने भी खोला है। दिस इज द लीव बैलेंसेस लिंक। This will show you the status of leave balance for all the people in your unit. Suppose I go to my unit headquarters 001. So this was the initial leave balance. Now if I want to see the current leave balance, I click here. So I can see the current leave balance here. These are the people who had null balance, and these are the people who have balance. So this is the balance that we have received from IPAS. And this is the initial leave balance, which is null for everyone. Uh, okay. Now, if you notice for some employees whose approval we had taken in different proposals, their status is coming because their initial balance leave balance was moved for processing. Okay, so this can be, this leave balances page can be used to see the update on the status of leave balances of different employees. And leave records is how it will get generated. Right now it's not working because we have not generated any leave record right now. But once it is functional, we can show you. It is just like the list of all the transactions for the employee. So this is how you update initial balance and update the leave balances, and manual entry of leave is done in leave management. I hope you will be benefited by this, and it's a very important process, a very responsible process. And as you see, because update leave balance requires a close coordination with accounts, different whoever is managing the leave details like personnel or engineering or anyone, they need to do this initial balance update and send it to accounts for vetting. So you need to coordinate and what is going to be the modus operandi, whether you are going to send them manual leave records, vetted leave records to check, or how you are going to show them that planning you should do. And since all DCs can see all bill units, you also have to plan that which DC will see which bill unit, no one interferes in each other's work. So those things are important. You should ensure that the proper planning and proper assignment of work is done. And all those people, all those employees who have a null balance in the system, their leave record must be updated and vetted and approved. Only then they'll be able to apply leave. So please first do it for those people so that they are able to apply leave. And uh, like for all other people, retirees you can do first, and for all other people you can subsequently try to finish as soon as possible. So this is the whole administrative part of the leave management. I hope it was useful. ये हमारे लीव बैलेंस का एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव पार्ट था, जिसमें हमने आपको बताया लीव इनिशियल बैलेंस को अपडेट करने के लिए, और लीव बैलेंसेस को अपडेट करने के लिए, और मैनुअल लीव को एंटर करने के लिए। और हम उम्मीद करेंगे कि आप इसका इस्तेमाल करेंगे। सबसे पहले उन लोगों का लीव अब इनिशियल लीव बैलेंस अपडेट करिए जिनका नल है सिस्टम में, क्योंकि वो लीव अप्लाई नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। तो पहले उनका अप्रूव कराइए, वेट करा के तभी वो अप्लाई कर पाएंगे। और क्या जो रिटायर होने वाले हैं उनका अपडेट कराइए, वेट कराइए कि वो रिटायर होने वाले हैं, उनका वेट पहले हो जाना चाहिए। और धीरे धीरे आपको सबका ही वेट कराना है, तो जितनी जल्दी आप कराएंगे उतना अच्छा रहेगा। प्लीज प्लान करिए इसको अच्छे से, अपने लोगों को प्रॉपर रोल दीजिए। जिसके पास डीसी रोल नहीं है उसको डीसी रोल दीजिए, किसको कौन सा बिल यूनिट देखना है, प्रॉपर असाइनमेंट हो करके आप प्लीज इस काम को कोऑर्डिनेटेड वे में अकाउंट के साथ मिलकर करें और ये इंश्योर करें कि जो लीव मैनेजमेंट का एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पार्ट है वो ऑनलाइन प्रॉपरली पूरा किया जा सके। आप सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।